All right, what's going on, y'all? She got CJ 100, 50% of the 5100 podcast, and I'm back at you with another episode.
Do me a favor, right fast. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get all of our content as soon as it drops. With that being said, let's get back to the video.
Today we're going to talk about 3 people. I'm not going to take too much time with it, but we definitely going to talk about 3 people. And these 3 people are Ciara, Future, and Russ, right? So when it comes to Future and Russ, they're obviously 2 different guys, right? We can honestly agree that those 2 are probably the polar opposites of each other. Now, why is that important? Because between those polar opposites is a woman, Ciara. And the reason she chose these men on the opposite ends of the spectrum of each other, right? So let's just start with Future first. Now, I remember, because I'm old enough to remember, and I was in my prime or my young age of being into music, videos, all that to the fullest degree. I remember when Ciara's career was not as big and flourishing as it used to be. Then all of a sudden came a prince named Future, right? And he rejuvenated her career. Now, one song that sticks out to me in particular is Body Party. Y'all remember that video? Ciara did a thing. She's a great dancer, bro. Ciara fine, bro. I can't even cap. That's a fine woman, bro. And Future was in that video. Now, there is a particular scene that I'm gonna pull up on screen where Future is sitting in the chair. Ciara crawls to him. Now, I'm bringing that up for a specific reason because I want y'all to understand what I'm really trying to put down. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments. But that's a form of submission. She's crawling to this man. This is a man who, before he became the big rapper Future, he had plenty of baby mamas. So what that tells me is that he was irresponsible, 1. 2, women wanted him. And his baby mamas are not bad looking. So nice looking women wanted him. He was a guy that women wanted to be with. So did Ciara. But the difference is this is a different kind of Future as far as fame and money goes. So he's the same guy, but he's achieved a level of esteem and status that takes his whole mentality and outlook and persona to a different level. And he was a genius musically. No matter what you think about his music now, people don't have the best opinions of his music, whatever. But at the end of the day, he's written for top artists in this game and has had #1 selling albums and singles and collabs. So the guy's a genius when it comes to music. Ciara knew that. Right there, they're both very good at music and the arts. That's something that they have in common. So already he's touching a part of her that most men just can't touch. And he's the guy that does what he wants. And Ciara wanted that, and he wanted her. Before he basically bought her anything, gifted her anything, took her to extravagant trips, didn't matter. It was him, okay? So I'm gonna bring up this idea, right? There's this idea of what a man does for a woman, and does he do it for her? Future did it for Ciara. That's what people miss. Now let's break it down just a little bit because I'm not gonna spend too much time on Future and Ciara. But I do want to say this. He stroked what I call the button. Now for the guys that are blessed and know what they're doing, in the back of that box, it's a button. When you hit that button, it's like flicking a doorstop. You know that little joint that you know, whatever. But he's hitting that box. He's hitting that button, right? That on top of her already being just attracted to him off of who he is. Not what he has, but who he is. Off the muscle, she was a goner. So, but with that comes a guy that is who he is. He's not going to change for you. Now, this is where Ciara had a problem. This guy ain't gonna be controllable. This guy ain't gonna kiss my, you know what? This guy is You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word, he that nigga, you feel me? So she got to deal with some things if she gonna be with him. Let me hit my yak. Hold on. She would have to deal with some things. And she didn't want to deal with those things. That's what it came down to. He was dealing with other women, doing his thing. And from what Future said, he didn't hide that. So what it seems like to me is she made a decision that she didn't want to be there anymore. But he still does it for her. So now let's go to Russell Wilson, a guy that is a great quarterback. At the time I'm speaking of, he was a good quarterback. He wasn't quite great yet. He was carried by that Seattle defense that was, LOB. That was a serious back end. They wasn't playing. And Bobby Wagner running that middle, great defense that Russ had. But Russ was a very competent quarterback. We all could see it. He was married to a white woman at this time, and she basically cheated on him and embarrassed him. So he left her, but he was embarrassed in that locker room. He was already kind of not liked in the locker room just because of the kind of guy he was, and they didn't see him being great as he was, and that happens, you feel me? But that was the situation. So Ciara is done with this bad relationship, quote unquote, that everybody loved at one point, but that's another story for another day. She basically was on her own and hurt. And there was a guy that was on his own and hurt. And he even said, Russ said, he always had a thing for Ciara. So he went and got her. I ain't knocking it. That's the woman you want. G, go get her. Because I respect it. I respect the guy going to get what he wants. Not knocking it. But check this out. She had a child. And here became the first part of what I want to talk about when it comes to this relationship. The reason women love the Ciara and Russ relationship, before I get too deep into it, is the fact that she had a baby by a quote unquote Pookie or a Ray Ray or a Tyrone, the word that they use for degenerate black men, hood black men, whatever. They got multiple baby mamas, do drugs, sell drugs. You know the stereotype, right? Okay. She had a baby with that man and it didn't work. Now, I think the number is 60 to 75% of black women, we're talking about black, we know this is black, right, have children, right? And a lot of them are single mothers because 2 out of 10 of them will be married. So this whole situation is a perfect storm for women that want to come back from a fall of grace. That's what this situation is. That's why I believe black women in particular latch themselves on to the Ciara and Russell Wilson relationship, though they really know nothing about it. Like we all know nothing about it, right? But here's the thing. What they don't understand is that Russell Wilson has always been here. So you got people sharing pictures like, well, if Russ is corny, then I want a corny relationship. First of all, he is corny. We know this. We know what corny means. Let's stop trying to change the definition because he's your knight in shining armor and your hero, right? Your Captain Saberho. Let's just stop the cap, right? And then you don't want that. See, y'all want the idea of it. See, I was just talking to my homegirl. We had a great conversation, right? And y'all got to excuse me for the do-rag, man. Late night, it's about 3 a.m. right now as I'm recording this. I just got up and got inspired after we had the conversation, and we're late night workers, so we had this conversation, right? And we were just talking about the guys she talks to, and she was telling me there were guys that are good guys that are waiting for her. Immediately, I was like, that's not the guy you want. And at first, she kind of, didn't understand what I was saying, but as I went more into it, she understood, like, yeah, because if I want a guy, I'm gonna do what I got to do to be with him. Exactly. Now, what you mean, 100? What are you getting at? This is what I'm getting at. Russ is a guy that y'all need. The guy that could provide you stability. The guy that will treat you like a princess or a queen. But is that really what y'all want? It's almost like, you know how there's a parent that's abusive or a hard to please parent, right? Children tend to try to please that parent more than the parent that already rocks with them, that believes in them. The people that believe in them, they feel like they got them already, so I don't need to work for that. See, what Future did was made Ciara work. Ciara felt lucky to be with this guy, right? Because of who he was. See, what Russ is a doer. Well, he does things for her, but he doesn't do it for her. And I'm going to tell you how I know this. Because there was a clip of Russ begging Ciara to give him another baby. He was on his knee begging live on TV, right? And this man worships the ground she walks on. See, women don't like that. They'll say they do. You know what? I'll take that back. They like it. They don't respect it from a man that they want to be with. They truly don't. They want it from Future. And when Future actually does something that, I mean, just barely gives them the inclination that they worship them, that Future worships them, they lose their shit. It's much more appreciated. It's like with me, I'm not a big smiler, right? So when I'm in a relationship with a woman, a thing that gets to them is when I smile, because they know it's genuine. I don't fake smile for pictures. Only time I smile for pictures really is when I'm with my daughter or I'm laughing at something, whatever. We ain't making this about me. But the point is, it was rare. And it wasn't rare because they were trying to keep it from them. It's rare because it's just not who they are. That's not what they do. Ciara was enamored with what Future was, the person that he was, not what he did. I'm sure that played a factor, but the overall reason why she was with him and with him as long as she was with him is because of that. And she had a baby with a man like that. She's not sad about that, trust me. She likes what that son got from him. She just doesn't want to be with him anymore. So she's going to probably try to tell her son to be something different. And then her son will be the man that no woman wants. Y'all don't understand this thing. Y'all want Future to be like Russ. That's all it is. Y'all want what Russ shows publicly. Y'all want the idea of Russell Wilson. Y'all don't actually want him. But the ones that are smart enough to understand what Russell Wilson is will appreciate what Russell Wilson is. But those are the guys that get cheated on. Now, all guys get cheated on, don't get me wrong. But those are the guys that are broken by it. Those are the guys that just don't understand the game. Russ obviously does not understand the game because he's playing it wrong, in my opinion. But I think Russ is a good guy. So I'm going to wrap this all up by saying, look, ladies, I understand that what they do is so sweet and so romantic. Ask yourself this. How many guys have you been with that made you feel a way inside, did those romantic things? Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. It's your guy, CJ100, 50% of the 5100 podcast, and I'm going to catch y'all with the next video. You dig.